You are a nurse. St. Jude's Regional, 3:14 a.m. The monitor above bed 2 shows a flat green line and the single damning word, asystole. You feel for a pulse on Mr. Henderson's neck, your fingers pressing into the cool, waxy skin, and you find one. It is not the flutter of a dying heart. It is a slow, deliberate hydraulic beat. The door to the room clicks shut behind you. Here's how you got here. Your mother was a home health aide. She changed bedpans and spoon-fed seniors for $80 a day cash. She came home smelling of antiseptic soap and other people's sickness. You saw the deep lines in her knuckles, the permanent stoop in her shoulders. You decided you would wear scrubs, but you would have authority. You would have a license. You took out $40,000 in loans to get your RN. You worked nights stocking shelves at a grocery store, studying pharmacology on your break, the scent of sawdust and rotisserie chicken thick in the air. You were the first person in your family to get a degree. Your father cried at your graduation. He manages a Jiffy Lube. This is your 3rd week at St. Jude's. Your first solo night shift on the 3rd floor geriatric ward. The shift began like any other. Quiet. The hospital settles into a different rhythm after midnight. The daytime chaos of doctors and families gives way to a deep, mechanical hum. The hiss of oxygen tanks, the rhythmic beep of monitors, the distant groan of the elevator. These are the only sounds. You are the only one walking the halls. The senior nurse, Brenda, handed off the floor to you at 11. She has worked nights for 20 years. Her eyes hold a permanent exhaustion. She ran through the patient list, her voice a monotone drone. Henderson in 308 is end of life. Comfort care only. Full DNR. His daughter signed it this morning. He's been unresponsive since noon. She tapped his chart. Don't be a hero. He's 92. He's lived his life. Let him go peaceful. Then she was gone, leaving you with the weight of 30 souls sleeping behind thin wooden doors. For the first 3 hours, you are a model of efficiency. You are in control. You check the IV drips, ensuring the flow rates are correct. You document fluid output. You turn Mrs. Gable in 304 to prevent bed sores, her skin thin as paper. You move with a quiet competence you have spent 4 years and a mountain of debt to acquire. At midnight, you did your first round on Mr. Henderson. Room 308. The air in his room was still and cool. He lay under a single thin blanket, a pale shape in the low light from the hallway. His breathing was shallow, a soft rattle in his chest. Shane Stokes respirations, they call it. The body's last effort. You checked his vitals. Blood pressure was 70/40. Heart rate at thready 45 beats per minute. Oxygen saturation too low for the machine to read. You noted it all in his chart. You were not a hero. You were a professional, documenting a natural, peaceful end. At 2:30 a.m., you are at the nurse's station, updating charts. The call light for 308 flashes once, then goes dark. You frown. Faulty wiring. This hospital is old, underfunded. The county keeps threatening to shut it down. You make a note to have maintenance look at it in the morning. 10 minutes later, a sound comes through the baby monitor you keep tuned to the hallway. A faint, wet, rhythmic noise. You lean closer. It sounds like someone slowly tearing wet bread. It stops. You tell yourself it was the ice machine down the hall. But you know it wasn't. You walk back down the hall. The linoleum floors, waxed 1,000 times, reflect the pale fluorescent lights. Your rubber-soled shoes make no sound. You push open the door to 308. The room is silent. The wet sound is gone. Mr. Henderson has not moved. But something has changed. The air is colder, heavier. You look at the cardiac monitor above his bed. The green line is flat. No frantic alarm, because he is a DNR. The machine simply marks the absence of a life. It reads, asystole. 0 electrical activity. 0 heart rate. 0 blood pressure. You follow your training. It is a checklist that keeps you from thinking. It keeps you from feeling. Mr. Henderson, you say, your voice calm. You place a hand on his shoulder and shake gently. No response. His skin is cool. You shine your penlight into his eyes. His pupils are fixed and dilated. No response to light. You listen for breath sounds with your stethoscope. There are none. You palpate the carotid artery in his neck. You feel for a full 30 seconds. There is no pulse. You look at the clock on the wall. 3:09 a.m. You note it on the small pad you carry in your pocket. Time of death. You are supposed to call the doctor on call to come and certify. Then you call the family. His daughter. You picture her asleep in her bed, the phone on her nightstand, that is about to tear her world apart. But first, there is postmortem care. It is your job to prepare the body. It is the last act of dignity you can offer a patient. You pull on a fresh pair of gloves. You lower the head of the bed so he is lying completely flat. You gently close his eyelids. You go to cross his arms over his chest. His arm is stiff, but not fully rigid yet. As your fingers wrap around his wrist to move it, your thumb presses against the radial artery. You feel it. A pulse. You freeze. It is impossible. You just check. You check the carotid, the gold standard. You saw the flat line. Your training, your textbooks, the fundamental laws of biology all say this cannot happen. You press your fingers harder against his wrist. Confirm dialte. A pause. Dantron diet. It is faint. Thready. But it is there. You think you are imagining it. Stress. Exhaustion. Your first solo night. Your mind is playing tricks on you. You move your fingers to his neck, to the carotid artery. You press into the cold flesh. Tantian. Dot. It is not faint here. It is strong. It is a slow, heavy, deliberate beat. One beat every 3 seconds. It feels less like a heart and more like a piston. A slow, powerful machine, turning over. You look up at the monitor. The line is still flat. Green. Unwavering. Asystole. The machine says he is dead. Your hands say he is not. Your own heart is a frantic bird in your chest, but you force it down. There must be an explanation. A technical glitch. You check the leads on his chest. They are all secure, the pads sticky against his skin. You trace the wires back to the machine. Everything is plugged in. You are a scientist. You believe in data. The machine is the data. You let go of his neck. You take a step back from the bed. You need to think. Who do you call? Brenda. What do you say? My DNR patient died, but he has a pulse that the EK can't see. They will think you are crazy. They will suspend your license. $40,000 of debt, and you will be back to stocking shelves. You are alone with a body that is not acting like a body. The room feels smaller now. The single window shows only blackness. You are on the 3rd floor. You look at Mr. Henderson. His face is slack, his mouth slightly open. He looks like any other deceased patient. But you know what is happening inside him. That slow, impossible engine, pumping blood through a body whose brain and heart have ceased all electrical function. You have to touch him again. You have to be sure. You reach for his wrist, your gloved hand trembling. As your fingers make contact, the door to the room clicks shut. You whip your head around. You did not touch the door. It closes slowly, the latch engaging with a soft, final sound. You lunge for it, your hand grabbing the cold steel handle. You turn it. It does not budge. It is locked. Panic, cold and sharp, cuts through your clinical detachment. You rattle the handle. It is solid. You are locked in. You turn back to the bed. Mr. Henderson's eyes are open. They were closed. You close them yourself. Now they are open, staring at the ceiling. They are not the faded blue they were this morning. They are cloudy, pale like frosted glass. He sits up. There is no struggle. No weak, elderly man pulling himself up. He rises from the bed in one smooth, silent motion, his spine perfectly straight. His hospital gown settles around a frame that seems stronger, denser than it was an hour ago. He does not look at you. He turns his head and stares at the locked door. A sound comes from his throat. Not a voice. A dry rustle, like dead leaves skittering across pavement. It is a whisper that fills the entire room. She's almost here. You are frozen between the bed and the door. The checklist in your head is gone. The years of training are gone. The $40,000 of debt means nothing. You are no longer a nurse in a hospital room. You are just a body, trapped with another body that is being used like a puppet. The thing in the bed slowly turns its head, the neck cracking softly. Its cloudy eyes fix on you. It does not see a nurse. It sees a witness. It offers a small, thin smile, a stretching of dead lips over yellowed teeth. You understand the full weight of what you have become. You are not the person who provides comfort care. You are the person who stays behind to watch. The last thing you will ever chart is your own silence. That's a wrap. Nurses on night shifts are often cited as being the most frequent witnesses to unexplained phenomena in hospitals. Subscribe for more.